The Bemba are a horticultural group that live in the woodland of northeastern Zambia, which is located in southern Africa.
The Hananu are also a horticultural community. They live in the uplands of the Mindoro Islands in the Philippines.
The Bemba have an agricultural focus, and most of their livelihood revolves around the procurement of food. Their main crop is millet, which consists of small seeds that can be made into flour. In order to grow millet, the Bemba rely heavily on gardening and wood for houses, beds, stools, and drums. They also use bark for nets and snares. The men cut large amounts of branches from high up in the trees in order to place them over their garden plot. As soon as the chief allows it, the Bemba light fire to their garden plots. The Bemba use a sequence of crops to get the most out of the soil, including groundnuts, cassava, and sweet potatoes.
Like the Bemba, the Hananu use slash-and-burn agriculture on plots called swidens, which are chosen after half a year of informal negotiation between swidden groups. The Hananu have no formal leaders or system of law other than respect for elders and their input, and thus don't rely on permission of a chief, as the Bemba do. After selecting a site, the majority of the growth, aside from certain valuable plants, are cut down and left to dry. After lighting the site on fire, the newly cleared swidden is first planted with rice, and then other crops after the rice is harvested. On average, there are 40 different basic crops in any one swidden, usually sweet potatoes, bananas, legumes, maize, and herbs.
The Bemba also have specific roles for each gender. Men are responsible for cutting trees, clearing bush, hunting, making furniture, and building houses, while women garden, cook, pile branches, manage money, plant crops, and fetch water and firewood.
The Hananu also relegate the more dangerous jobs to men, such as clearing large trees, lighting swidden fires, and building fences, whereas the women are responsible for weeding, sowing, weaving, and harvesting all crops aside from rice. The barrier between male and female roles is not set in stone, however, and men can assist women and vice versa if necessary. The only roles that are not allowed to be shared in any circumstances are during rice planting.
The Bemba also engage in several rituals. The most important one is regarding tree cutting. As tree cutting is considered dangerous, the Bemba ask the spirits to protect those climbing the trees. They also engage in animal sacrifice during large events such as harvests.
Unlike the Bemba, the majority of Hananu rituals center around rice. A ritual rice binder prays to the rice spirits and swidens to stay and keep the rice crop strong, and makes animal sacrifices to please them.
The Bemba live in small huts. The village is set up in a way that garden plots enclose all of the huts in a large circle. They live in large family groups and are governed by a paramount chief.
The Hananu live in nuclear families under one roof, and the immediate houses belong to close kin, creating a settlement. Most swidens are located away from the settlements, aside from small experimental gardens.
The anthropologist studying the Bemba conducted 3 visits, one from 1930 to 1931, another in 1933, and finally a review in 1957. Since then, the Bemba have been heavily converted to Christianity.
The anthropologist studying the Hananu visited from 1952 to 1954. Since then, the Hananu have had to abandon much of their traditional lifestyle due to land grabs.